Hi,
Hello, everybody.
welcome to Soul Sisters 120. We hope you're all doing well. We'd like to start with our Rima for today. We're in 2 Kings 24, 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Okay, got it. In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Joachim became his servant 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him, and the Lord sent against him bands of the Chaldeans, and bands of the Syrians, and bands of the Moabites, and bands of the Ammonites, and sent them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by his servants the prophets. Surely this came upon Judah at the command of the Lord, to remove them out of his sight, for the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he had done, and also for the innocent blood that he had shed. For he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, and the Lord would not pardon. Now the rest of the deeds of Joachim, and all that he did, and they are not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Judah.
Okay, so when he says innocent blood, I believe that's the blood of children. And I believe that's been going on. Yeah, that's ancient, and God does not pardon. He will not pardon anyone that's doing that now. So I really feel that's really going into what I'm going to talk about. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really coming more to the forefront right now. What's going
Yes.
on?
Yes.
Praise be to God. Thank you, dear Lord. Sorry you have to witness all these sad things,
Yes, that's
so
right.
many thousands of years.
Yes, thousands.
Mm.
Okay, so yes, this is a dark topic, but one that I felt compelled to talk about. And this one is from a video entitled "Last Call: What the Enemy Meant for Evil," shown on November 20th, 2021. It begins with several interviews of young people having seizures and literally dying in front of them at the Travis Scott concert. One guy explained how people were telling the performer, "Stop, stop," but he just kept going, with people falling down dead. Many of these young people never experienced this. People passing out, having seizures, being carried out in stretchers. One girl says she's gone to multiple concerts and she's never felt the way she felt watching him as he did in other concerts. One guy says everyone was just in shock about how crazy and panicked everyone was. There was a lot of fear in people's eyes, you can see. Another says this year was different. The energy was crazy. Can't even put it into words. One girl says, as soon as he jumped out into the stage, it was like an energy took over. Then the video shows clips of some really low frequency music with fire and smoke, resembling hell. One young man explained he's a huge Travis Scott fan, but after these events, I don't think so, he says. One girl says she's 100% convinced that this was literally an energy harvest. Travis Scott was snatching souls. One astute young man said that after tonight, man, God really showed me, like stay away from people like that. He is not for you. He sacrificed so many people's lives that night for real. These are the interviewees talking. Like so many people's lives are gone. And it shows a 9-year-old dead. Shows two best friends died together at the show. One poor forlorn mother crying, saying her daughter had never been to a concert before. She explains, I am blessed. God gave me, blessing. But what happened now, she says. She cries, what happened to my blessing now? I want my baby back, she cries. One guy's brother saved his fiance's life. And there was a picture of the 8 people who died at this concert. There was 10, actually. Dana Ashley, who made this video, now reports, she explains, this video is not a topic she personally wanted to cover, but she felt led to do so for the benefit of the younger adults and teens who maybe are trying to make sense of the mass casualty event that happened at Astroworld in Houston, Texas. During the concert of singer Travis Scott, 10 young people lost their lives. And here I should like to discuss the deeper spiritual significance of that. She included some of the testimonies because she doesn't want anyone to lose sight of their loss. She's asking for prayers while she talks about these dark topics. She says she's making the video partially in response to the fact checkers who as usual are dismissing claims without evidence. The Houston Chronicle says, fact check. No, the Astroworld tragedy wasn't a satanic ritual. They can't prove it. Then she shows some comment, but it being absolutely ridiculous how people believe it to be a satanic ritual. Before you young people can believe that TikTok is justified in deleting videos talking about claims of human sacrifice, you need to just first understand what the symbols of such things are. And were they being presented at this concert? Is there any concrete evidence of these deaths being intentional? Answer is a resounding yes. She says, in this video, I will prove it. Important knowledge I will be discussing here because it's going to show you how to interpret the truth in plain sight all around you, because it's so much more than this concert. So some people are saying they had needles and they were injecting people with those needles. That could be true. Is that intentional? Yes.
Sounds pretty deliberate to me.
Anyway, a demonic atmosphere brings that out. For some of those that did attend, like you saw in the intro, they witnessed the dark spiritual truth of what happened here. And that, she says, is a huge silver lining. She goes on to show a video. A girl saying she has grown up on Travis Scott, went to all his concerts. She never experienced something like this. That man is dumb. Dana goes on to say, so many young people already are because of this waking up from their slumber regarding the true purpose of celebrities and the deeper and darker purpose of entertainment and music. So what on earth could these young people be talking about? Was this really a harvest of souls? And could it be related to anything satanic? First of all, there does seem to be some pretty heavy negligence. We have many testimonies of security guards who were paid to be there, had zero training. Some even admitted that the majority of them wound up partying in the audience themselves. One girl says, I am the only security at my station because everybody else left to go to the concert. Dana says, we have people admitting the lack of medical equipment to help with things like heart attacks was nearly non-existent. Another attendee says they didn't have enough defibrillators for heart attack patients. They didn't have enough ambulance cots to get to people that needed help. One girl says she needed medical assistance and they only had one oxygen tank to share with 50,000 people. That's 50,000 people. They didn't have enough?
That's not preparedness.
There's a reason. It's really, yeah.
Something's pretty bizarre.
Yes. Dana says there's videos of police officers casually hanging out at the end of the stage as if nothing is happening, when at that point, hundreds were already severely injured. Many had died and with no one helping them. I'd like to ask why. For those who don't know what satanic ritual means, for those who say, what do you mean Satanism? Don't be ridiculous. There's no such thing as Satan. This is just art. This video is for you. Quickly get the accountability of Travis Scott out of the way. By now, everyone has seen that video of him singing, yeah, yeah, over and over with this lifeless body. She shows the concert and this really weird music and showing people passing the body between crowds of people. It's very scary. Meanwhile, at that point, there were already many injured and calling to stop the show. The video is shocking. They show someone passed out or dead and hundreds saying, stop the show, stop the show. This guy keeps going on. The words are strange. He says something like second birth at the end of these strange lyrics. Shows man. He is still standing on the stage with music still blasting. To give some quick context, here's what normally happens when an audience member even begins to overheat or pass out. She shows a band at Lincoln Park in 2009 in London. The band stops and says, pick him up right now. The band says, we got to look out for safety first. Yeah. Then the band says to the audience, when someone falls, what do? Pick them up, they say. But Travis Scott didn't do that. She says the next clip, in my opinion, should put him in jail. I'm sure that won't happen, she says. There's an ambulance that can't get through. There are people screaming people are dead, which causes them to pause briefly. Travis Scott then takes a vote, only to escalate it further instead of helping the dying people. Instead of stopping, he says, if everybody good, put your middle finger high up in the sky. Two more guys come on the stage and try to appeal to him to stop, but he repeats, 2 hands to the sky. Then he says, I want to make this MFing ground shake, baby. Then he says, here we go. Here we go.
Sounds like he's not in too good a shape himself.
Yeah. Dana says the proof of premeditation gets even worse. Take a look at the posters for the show. She shows them on clips. Any clues here related to sacrifice? She shows these disembodied hands with one eye. At first glance, we see the all-seeing eye that is very commonly associated with Illuminati symbols. But you realize this goes way farther back than Freemasonry. It goes back to Egyptian mythology and the Eye of Horus. In one version of the myth, it was Horus himself who gouges his own eye as a sacrifice to bring his father Osiris back to life. But what do you know? Osiris was synonymous with the underworld, death, evil, and disorder. So this sacrifice enables Osiris to reign king of the underworld of the dead. It's demons. So the Eye of Horus represents protection. But I'd like to ask protection of what? Protection of their god of death. Well, no shortage of eyeballs here. She shows another poster in this poster. In fact, take a look at this. The moment when Travis popped out on stage shows a winged creature coming out of fire. Several had already collapsed and died. A stage full of eyeballs representing sacrifice of the underworld. All while they chant, "Go crazy," and playing for keeps to a crowd that had already sent some of them to their death. Go crazy as we're playing for keeps over and over again. But back to the poster, take a look at this image here. Not just the eyeballs, but the eyeballs inside the hand. What on earth, right? I'll show you. She shows it. She shows a creature from the movie Pan's Labyrinth. And in that movie is Pale Man. He was a creature with an eye in his hand, and he's a child-eating monster. Interesting. Listen, Travis Scott is only one of many henchmen for the large satanic worshiping cult. Remember, these symbols are openly disclosed, so you know the truth. Okay? So then, make no mistake, these symbols are fingerprints of the Saturnians and the sun god worship and Luciferian at their core. Still haven't seen enough proof about Travis? The date of the show, November 5th, 2021, just happened to be 666 months and 6 days from the formation of the Church of Satan. In a bird's eye view, the stage shows us none other than the upside-down cross leading directly into the portal of a stage which featured a perfect representation of the pits of hell. The upside-down cross is a very well-known symbol of the occult and atheism. On the same stage with the portal, there's a sign that said, "See you on the other side." Okay, again, for one to say this can't be a satanic ritual, this person making that statement needs to know what one of those looks like. Essentially, these ancient rituals tied to human sacrifice have been going on not for hundreds, but for thousands of years. And she shows a picture of a baby being offered to Moloch. The gods tied to this sacrifice worship Saturn, known again to eat children, even his own son, also known as Kronos, Baal, or Moloch. Travis Scott had as an open mouth, Moloch, complete with people symbolically walking straight into it. She says, as a marketing branding person, there is no good reason for this choice. It is weird, not alluring or beautiful. It's disturbing. That's on the album cover. Now that we know this ancient worship, these gods to bring in a good harvest or to provide wealth by giving over your child's life, is ridiculous. Seems unreal and ridiculous. Yes. Actually, the word worship only means to revere greatly. How many of these young adults simply revered greatly Travis Scott? How many worship Travis Scott, paid with their lives? And she shows a picture of the 9-year-old Ezra who died. Actually, I was thinking about this when I was doing this. When I was young, they were very, symbolic. When I went to concerts, when I think about it, there was a lot of symbology there. And I went to one, this was like not a famous person. It was at college. I just went to a 2-year college. And they had all this like demon imagery. They were like black masks and weird, movements. And it was all dark. And I thought, what the heck is this? No. Is this supposed to be music? Because I don't like it if that's what they're doing. So I could see at that time, but these kids, I didn't have any training per se, but I could see that was not a good thing. But these kids can't see. They need to decipher. And like she said, maybe this is good. It's not good people died. That's horrible. But what's good is that they're shocked into realizing that this is bad.
It's not normal.
It's not normal.
It's not normal.
Yeah.
I went to one at UCLA, and it was Elton John, but he was just a showman. He did all this tricks on the piano and stuff. But that's basically all what it was. Yeah. And James Taylor.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not the same.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll do this again next time. I'm not done. So take care. God bless. See you again.